Hello everyone, this is Heading Tian. In this video, we will learn lecture chapter 8.2, income tax. This lecture based on the textbook and the IRS rules in 2016. So now we don't use this formula, some formula or definitions from this class to compute the income tax. But maybe later they modified the rules. You still need to use this kind of formula to find the income tax. So just to understand how does the income tax computed. Okay, let's see. The first one is determine gross income, adjustable gross income, and taxable income. Some definitions. The first one is income tax. It is the percentage of your income collected by the government to fund its services and programs. Calculating your federal income tax begins with gross income or total income for the year. The next step in calculating your federal income tax is to determine your adjusted gross income. The formula of the adjusted gross income is gross income subtract adjustment. What is the adjustment? That's including tax deferred saving plan like 41K, IRA, and a percentage of the college expenses. The exemption. An exemption is a fixed amount on your return for each person supported by your income. So you can find the exemptions from the tax table. Next one is a standard deduction. It's a lump sum amount that you can subtract from your adjusted gross income. So where to find the exemption and standard deduction? We can find it from the tax table. Here is shown here. There are 4 statutes. Which one you need to choose is all depends on your statutes. For example, if you are single and your standard deduction here is $6,300, the exemptions is $50 per person. What's the meaning of per person? If you are single and your exemptions is 40-50, but if you have a child, like that's the dependent, so you add another 40-50. If you have 2 dependents, so you need to add 2 times 40-50. So if you have 2 dependents, this one and this one, you need to have this and this and this amount of exemptions. Okay, let's continue to talk about itemized deduction. Itemized deductions are deductions you list separately if you have incurred a large number of deductible expenses, like mortgage, property taxes, state taxes, contribution to charity, medical expenses exceeding 7.5% of adjusted gross income. So let's move on to next definition, taxable income. Taxable income figured by subtracting exemptions and deductions from adjusted gross income. So taxable income is equal to adjusted gross income. Subtract the sum of exemptions and deductions. Adjusted gross income we have learned equals gross income. Use GI represent gross income. Subtract adjustment like some tax deferred saving plan. And exemptions, we can find it from the tax table. Deduction, there are 2 kinds of deduction. One is standard deduction. That's the deduction you can find from the tax table. I think I mentioned about it. You can find it from here. This amount of money, and there another kind is itemized deduction. That included the mortgage, property taxes, state taxes. The definition is here. So which one I need to choose to fill my deductions? Just compare which one is greater. If standard deduction is 6,300 and itemized deduction is 10,000, the itemized one is greater than the standard deduction. So we choose $10,000 as the deduction. So we don't need to use this one. If the itemized one is 1,000 and standard deduction is 6,300, so this the standard deduction is greater than the itemized $1,000 deductions. So we will choose this one as our deductions. Let's move on to see the example. A single man earned the wages of this amount and received this amount in interest from a saving account, received $15,000 in winning a television game show, and contributed this amount of money to tax deferred saving plan. So by now, we will find that the gross income he have is this one, and this one. We need to add them together. That's his gross income. And here is taxable deferred saving plan. That's adjustment. Let's continue to read. He is entitled to a personal exemption of $40, $50 and a standard deduction $6,300. The interest on his home mortgage was this amount, and then he paid this amount of property taxes and this amount of the state taxes and the contribution to the charity. So let's see the question. Determine the man's gross income. That's equals 46,500 plus 1850 plus 15,000. So this is his gross income equals, I provided here is 63,350. Next question, determine the man's adjusted gross income. Adjusted gross income, AGI equals gross income subtract adjustment. So the gross income is 63,350. Subtract the adjustment, which is the 2,300. The tax deferred saving plan. So let's see, what is that? Just copy the answer from the book. Okay, just to see it from here. This amount of money, that's 61,050. And next question, determine the man's taxable income. The taxable income equals the adjusted gross income, AGI. Just to use AGI represent adjusted gross income, sorry. Sorry for that. So the taxable income, that's the definition, that's the formula. AGI equals gross income. Oh, no. So erase all of this. So taxable income equals AGI subtract exemption plus deduction. The exemption it gave us from the question is this amount. So I plug it in is 4050 plus the deduction. Deduction, they gave us the standard one is 6,300, and also he provide us the itemized one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. We need to add the itemized together and to see the standard deduction is greater or the itemized deduction is greater. So let me calculate the itemized deduction. That equals, the first amount is 6,500. That's his home mortgage, plus 21,000 plus 1855 plus 3,000. So this amount of money must be greater than the standard deduction because this item is more than 6,300. So the answer of this part should be $13,455. Let's see. Yeah, that is. Okay, so let's move on to determine the taxable income. Taxable income equals AGI. AGI we have learned that's adjusted gross income, which is 61,050. Subtract the item. Oh, the exemption is 4050 plus 13,455, and this one equals. Use your calculator to provide the answer here is 43545. So this is the amount of tax he owned. Okay, that's the way to solve the problem. Okay, let's see next part, the calculate federal income tax. A tax table is used to determine how much you owe based on your taxable income. However, you don't have to pay this much if you have entitled to any tax credits. Tax credits are sum of money that reduce the income tax owed by the full dollar for dollar amount of the credits. So how to find the income tax? The first step we have learned, first two steps we already learned. That's find adjusted gross income. Use the formula adjusted AGI equals gross income, subtract adjustment. Gross income, that's including your wages, tips, earning from investment and employment compensation. Adjustment, that's just like the tax deferred savings plans, 41K IRA, and the percentage of college expenses. Next, you must find the taxable income. We learned that AGI subtract the sum of exemptions and deductions. The exemptions you can find from the tax table. If you have one dependent, you can have the exemption for you, and then it's the exemption for your dependent. If you so read it, and the same amount for each dependent. So if you have 3 dependent, and you have exemption for yourself, and then also you have 3 exemptions for your 3 dependents, that means you have 4 times the amount of exemptions. That's 4050 from the tax table. Okay, deduction part has 2 kinds of deduction. One is standard deduction. We can find it from the table. The table provided us is 6,300 or 1,000. Let me check. 100, right? It's 6,300, and itemized deduction, including the interest on home mortgage, state income taxes, property taxes, the contribution to the charity, and the medical expenses exceeding 7.5% of adjusted gross income. So compare which one is greater. If the itemized one is 10,000, so we choose this one as deduction. If this one is greater, we choose this one. Okay, let's move on to next part to see how to find the income tax. Income tax is equal to tax computation, subtract the tax credits. Tax computation, use your tax table to find the money you owned. So use taxable income and tax rates for filling statutes to determine this amount. That means you use your table to find the tax computations. The tax credits, the lawmaker have enacted numerous tax credits to help defray college costs. The tax table is shown here. It's including the standard deductions and exemptions. And so for filling statutes categories described in the voice balloons, the tax rates in the left column is called the marginal tax rate. The tax rate here, it's marginal tax rate. So let's see the example. Suppose you're a single and your taxable income is 25,000. In this scenario, your marginal rate is 15%. Let's see. We have 25,000. You are a single. You find your income range is here because your money is 25,000. So it's between these. How to find the income tax? You already they already provide you the taxable income. Then you must pay 10% tax on the first 92.75. So that means 10% times this amount of money, which is 9275, and plus 15% of this amount of money. Or sorry, the money between this one and let me write it down first. 15% times your money is 25,000. Subtract 9275 because the remaining money, the money above this amount is the remaining money. This amount of money. Subtract this. So in this range, you need to pay 15% on the tax. And then the sum of these two parts, that's the tax you need to pay for the IRS. Okay, here I already computed the amount of money you need to pay. So use your calculator to find the result here. Okay, let's move on to see next question. Next example, calculate the federal income tax owned by a single woman with no dependent whose gross income adjustment, deductions, and credits are given in the margin. Use the tax table to find the income tax. So her gross income, adjustment, some itemized deductions here, and tax credits. So first step, let's find the gross income. First step, gross income. Oh, they already provide us the gross income, so no need to find the gross income. What should we do? We need to find the adjusted gross income, AGI. That equals gross income subtract adjustment. That equals 62,000 subtract 4,000 equals 58,000. And next step is find the taxable income. Taxable income that equals AGI. AGI subtract the exemptions plus the deductions. So the exemption is given on the table. Let's find the exemption. This woman is single and his exemption is 40/50. So plug in the AGI and the exemptions. AGI is 58,000. Subtract 40/50 and then find the deduction. So which deduction we can use? We should use the table showed us the 63,000 one. Oh, sorry, 6,300 one, or the itemized one. Let's see. So only this amount of mortgage interest is greater than 6,300. So we don't use standard deduction. We use the itemized one. How much of the itemized one? Itemized deduction equals mortgage is 7,500 plus 2,200 plus 2,400 plus, do we need to plus the medical expense? Because we learned that if the medical expense is greater than 7.5% of AGI, adjusted gross income, so we can use that. But if it's less than 7.5% of AGI, we can't use it. So let's see, what is the 7.5% of the AGI? 7.5% times the AGI is, we have computed, it's 58,000. Use the calculator. Just see if I can find the number from the book, or we use calculator to find it. Just to see if they have it. Oh, they provided to us is 4350. Is 4350. So this amount of money, if the medical expense is more than this, we can use this amount of money here. If the medical expense is less than 4350, we need to cross it out. We count it. This one can't be counted here. So that's all the itemized deduction. This part equals, let's see if, okay, it's 12,100. So this amount of money is itemized deduction, and plug in this amount of money in the formula. So 3, the taxable income equals 58,000. Subtract 4050 plus 12,100. So use the calculator to find. Let's see. Just copy the. I want to copy, but where is it? Okay, just to find the taxable income here. So we got this amount of money, 41,850. 41,850. So this amount is a taxable income. And then next step, we need to go back to the table to find the money we need to pay. So just copy the table from previous big table because he's single and his taxable income is 41,850. So his income is in this range. So the tax he need to pay need to be separated in 3 parts. The first part, this amount of money need to pay 10% of the income tax, and this amount of money need to pay 15%, and then use the remaining part of money need to pay 25%. So let's see how to find the tax computation. The tax computation equals the first amount of money need to pay 10%. I can use 0.1 because 10% equals 0.1. First step, you can, because 10 has the decimal point here on the right, and then you move to the left 2 decimals, 1, 2. You got 0 here, and then take away the percentage sign. That's the 0.1. Okay, use 0.1 multiply the first amount. First part is 92.75, and next part need to pay 15% of the tax. So some student ask, can I use this, subtract this? Actually, we need to use this amount of money, subtract this, because 9276 is included in this range. So when you compute it, you need to use, oh no, this is very important. So we use 37650, this, subtract 92775. So you use this amount, subtract this amount, because this one is included in the range. If we use this, subtract this, so we will subtract $1 more. So you use 37650, subtract 9275. Okay. And then the next part, we need to plus 25%. 25%, that's 0.25. Multiply by the remaining part. Remaining part is 41850. Subtract, remember, this one is this 37650. So this is a tax computation. Use the calculator to find the amount of money of this. This is 6233.75. And then the question provides us the information because the woman has the tax credits. So we need to use the tax computation, subtract the tax credits, which is 500. And then that's the income tax. So I hope this makes sense. If you don't understand, please let me know and email me or ask me during the tutoring session. Okay, have a good day. Thank you.